Welcome to Monday, the 5th of February, 2024. My name is Jimmy Bradbury. I help entrepreneurially minded people who are stuck in a 9-to-5 job to be able to help them share their knowledge and experience with other people on any given topic that they really enjoy to help those people move forward in their lives and get paid doing it. So Monday is probably my favorite day of the whole week. It wasn't always like that when I was in a 9-to-5 job for 25 years. It was a day that I dreaded, particularly on a Sunday evening, knowing I had to go into work the next day. But now it's a completely different situation. I love Mondays because Monday is my content creation day. I create content for the whole week in that day. Actually, I do it in the morning. So it's lunchtime here now in Australia. So I've actually done all my content for the whole week. So I want to share with you some 5 ideas that could help you if you're looking to actually create content that you enjoy doing, because I know for a lot of people, they really struggle with this and it becomes this task. I've got to create content today. I've got to create content this week and I don't know what to create. I don't want to do it. And it just becomes something that's, just not enjoyable. And when we're in the online space, particularly when we're sharing what we know, our knowledge and experience, creating content that adds value to help people is so, so important. So hopefully these 5 ideas will help you. Setting the context with it is really, you have to have a system. I call it content rhythm. So it's a rhythm that I get into every single week. And I think that helps me enormously. And one step back from that is that I block out in my calendar time every single week. So Mondays is my content creation day. Mondays is the day when I batch all of the work that relates to content. I don't do any coaching calls. I don't do any meetings. I don't create courses and programs. I don't do interviews. I just create content for that whole week. So I schedule the time in my calendar, meaning I block it out, and I then batch that activity. So important, that blocking and batching, really important. So I've got a system, what I call a rhythm. 5 things that I want to share with you today. One is I have a 52-week content calendar. Now, this is not this big, elaborate 52 pages of content. It is 52 headings, and it could be with you. If you haven't got 52 headings, it could be just 13 times 4. It's 52. I've got 52 topics that I teach, that I share, that I give value on every single week related to what I do. Helping entrepreneurially minded people get out of a 9-to-5 job, build an online business that they love, and earn recurring passive income. That's what I help people do. So I've got 52 topics that all relate to things that either are problems they've got or desires that they want to aim for, dreams, things that they actually want to have in their life and move away from pain, move towards pleasure. That's what we're always doing. So being able to address those by knowing who my ideal customer is really important. I've got those in a content calendar, which is 52 weeks a year and 52 headings. Now, when I started out, I had just 13 and I multiplied the 13 by 4. So I would repeat each of them every single month or every single quarter, 13 weeks in a quarter, roughly. Now it's 52 because I've been doing this for 5 years. So I've had lots and lots of clients and students, thousands who've gone through my program. So I know what the pain points are. I know what their desires are. And I've got that allocated in a table. So starting with your content calendar is number 1. Number 2, from that content calendar, create one long form piece of content every single week. One. So that can be a podcast. It can be an article. It could be a video. So for me, since 2019, I've been doing a video. Now I do 2, which is a video and a newsletter. If you're not already subscribed, you should subscribe to my newsletter. It comes out every single Sunday. So I do a video and a newsletter. But if you're starting, just do one long form piece of content and do it consistently. And therein lies a problem for most people online. They don't have one long form piece of content that they put out consistently every week. So as you're watching this video, you might say to me, Jimmy, why do I need to have one long form piece of content? In fact, why do I need to have any long form piece of content? Well, here's the deal. If you're doing a video like this, or you're doing lots and lots of posts, which is great, it's only and this is not in any kind of degrading way, it's only a veneer of what people know about you, a veneer. If you're doing long form content, a blog, an article, a podcast, a video, it gets people to know you more at a deeper level. They know you more. They trust you because you're doing it consistently. And then there's a greater chance that they're actually going to follow you. And then ultimately, if you've got an offer, be able to buy from them. But if you're just doing posts and if you're just doing videos like this alone and not doing long form content, it's going to be more of a challenge for you. So that's why it's to build that know, like, and trust factor at a much deeper level by having long form pieces of content that you put out there consistently. I know when I started doing it and doing it consistently, my newsletter, my videos, it changed everything for my business. So do it, a long form piece of content, and do it consistently. Like, it's not going to take you long to do a newsletter. It's not going to take you long to do one piece of a video for 10 or 15 minutes training. It's not going to take you long to do a podcast. It's all here. You just need to commit to doing it and putting it in your calendar to actually do it. So that's number 2. Number 3 is then create from that long form piece of content little pieces. So for me, I have got now from my newsletter and my video 21 posts for this week. 21. So 7 days a week, I do 3 posts a day. So that's 21 posts. Plus, I do a live 5 days, Monday to Friday. So that's 21 and 5, 26 pieces of content that I put out. And they've all come from my long form piece of content. So I've just really cut that up and then been able to then put it out on social media, which is what I do by scheduling it. So I've taken this, the content and the links, and I've scheduled it across the platforms that I use, the social media platforms, LinkedIn, etc. So it's all automated for the whole week. And the only thing that I have to do is live videos. So 5 of those. Everything else, all my content is now from this time on Monday, lunchtime. It's all scheduled for the whole week. I don't have to schedule. I don't have to create any more content. It's all done. That's the 3rd piece. So number 1, do one long form piece of content. Number 2, create the content calendar. Number 3, schedule it. Number 4 is make sure that you're measuring the metrics and you're tracking the data. What are the pieces of content that are performing well? Why are they performing well? How they're performing? Just making sure that you're creating all that in a Google spreadsheet. You don't need a sophisticated tool to be able to do it, just a Google spreadsheet. But again, it's about actually doing it and doing it consistently. So make sure that you're measuring the metrics and tracking the data. And then number 5 is actually having a library of all your content so that you can repurpose the good stuff again and again and again. You don't need to always be creating new content. And that helps you enormously, particularly when you're on the fly. You know, somebody once said to me that if you want to succeed in this online space, you have to create a system that is able to operate for you when you just don't feel like it. And there are days like that. You know, you're either traveling or you just don't feel like it because maybe you're sick and you still want to get the content out there. So having a library to be able to pull it from quickly and then be able to repurpose it, I'm not suggesting all of the time, is a great thing to do. So those are the 5 ideas. Number 1 is making sure that you've got a 52-week content calendar. Number 2 is to be able to create a long form piece of content, at least 1, but if you're starting, just 1, every single week, a podcast, an article, or a video. Number 3, then take from that long form piece of content, be able to cut it up into bite-sized pieces, stories, memes, long copy posts, whatever it might be, reels. Number 4, schedule it out on an automated system so that you're not manually having to do it every single day. Number 4, measure the metrics and track the data. Number 5, have yourself a library of content that you can repurpose over time. Hopefully that's been helpful for you today. Last week, I published a link because I don't know if you're familiar with this, but I have a LinkedIn course that I put out in 2020 during the pandemic, which I redid about 3 months ago, completely new, redid it. Anyway, I surveyed 1,000 people that have been through that program when they were starting. And 99% of those 1,000 people had not got their LinkedIn profile optimized. Like, if you're on LinkedIn, that is the starting point. That's fundamental. You need to have your profile optimized. And there's 11 things that you need to be able to make sure that your profile is optimized. I have put together a one-page sheet, just one. It's not a big document. It's not a long video. It's a one-page audit that will take you literally 1 minute to go through, just to make sure that you tick all of the points. I'm almost certain that it'll be, interesting insight for a lot of people, because a lot of people think they've got their LinkedIn profile optimized. Have a look at it. I'll put a link below here. All you need to do, download it for free. Just go through it and make sure that your LinkedIn profile is optimized, because when you're optimized with your profile, then you've set yourself up to actually succeed on LinkedIn. The problem is a lot of people starting on LinkedIn, or even actually well into doing LinkedIn, they're putting lots of content out there, but they haven't optimized their profile. And as a result, it does hold them back significantly. So I'm going to put that link below. Hopefully it'll be helpful for you. And I look forward to talking to you again tomorrow. Bye-bye.